Let's move on to Sunday. We start 1 p.m. Eastern. Pittsburgh Steelers 4-7, 2-4 on the road at the Atlanta Falcons. 5-7, 4-2 home. Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. Just slips out. Sometimes. I can't help it. I won my week in my pool thanks to the Steelers. I was in the tie, and I cashed the tiebreaker with I guess 39 points, went to 41. I get that cash. Felt good. Atlanta opened up as minus 1.5 point favorites here this morning at 9:57 a.m. when Pinnacle dropped this line. Since then, they are plus 1 point dogs. A better way to look at it is from the money line. Atlanta opened up at minus 119. They're now minus 101. Interestingly enough, though, when this line initially came out this morning, money came in on the Falcons. Falcons got up to minus 128. So the Falcons got up to 9 cents in 4 minutes. So then there was immediate buyback on the Steelers. The total opened up at 43 at a pick'em. That's exactly where it is right now. So we've had 1 day of gambling activity. We have 2,433 tickets in, and the line value is on, according to Sports Insights, Pickett and the Steelers. 33% line value on them, 56% of tickets, 89% of the cash. The Sharps were all over the Steelers last week, and it was a pretty comfortable victory, even though the Colts did come back in the third quarter. 55% of the tickets are on the over, and we don't have a cash flow on that one yet. Steelers come in on short rest after that impressive 24-17 win at Indianapolis on Monday. Their defense was impressive. Held the Colts to just 3 of 12 on third down and 290 total yards, 3 sacks, 8 quarterback hits. Pierre had an interception. The Steelers dominated the first half, completely dominated, drove into Indy territory on all 5 possessions, 3 field goals and a touchdown, 16-3 lead. Pickett was 20-28 for 174 yards, ran 6 times for 32 yards. George Pickens caught 3 for 57. He continues to look like if he had a quarterback who had, a Tua or Mahomes type ability, that he could be leading the league in receiving. Deontay Johnson, 5 catches for 49 yards. Maybe Pickett can get there in a couple of years. He's got a great weapon to use. Najee Harris was ruled out with an abdominal injury. Benny Snell Jr. took over, 12 carries for 62 yards and a touchdown. Levi Wallace left the game late with an undisclosed injury, and it wasn't talked about. It wasn't talked about today by Tomlin. Minkah Fitzpatrick hurt his shoulder during the game. Ogunjobi and Miles Jack have injuries, but Tomlin said they're all expected to play Sunday. The Steelers rank in the top 10 in opponent yards per carry, and we know that's what Atlanta wants to do. Atlanta comes in off their third loss in 4 games, 19-13 setback at Washington. Mariota 15-25 for 174 yards, a touchdown and a pick. He also ran 6 times for 49 yards. Olamide Zaccheaus caught 5 for 91, but no other receiver caught more than 29 yards. I mean, if Drake London is not going to be a weapon, we know that Pitts is hurt. This becomes a pretty easy team to defend, but their running game is strong, and we know that the Commanders have a very strong run defense, and look, the Falcons were still able to put up 167 yards as a team rushing. Algier ran 11 for 54. Cordell Patterson ran 11 for 52, also caught 3 for 19. The Falcons have gone over 100 yards on the ground for 10 straight games. Their defense was strong. They held Washington 314 yards. They didn't get much pressure. Mykal Walker did get an interception. The secondary held the Commanders to just 138 yards through the air. Is that the Falcons secondary looking good, or the weakness of the Commanders pass attack, or Heineke? I guess we should say, look, he's a winner, but doesn't mean he can move the offense through the air. Outside linebacker Arnold Ebiketie left in the second quarter with a forearm injury. This could be a big loss for them. Second-round pick. He's been very good this year. Arthur Smith said that he hopes he'll suit up today. Chuma Edoga, left guard, inactive for the 10th time this year with a knee injury. Colby Gossett started in his place. And Atlanta's offensive line misses Edoga. They can't pass protect. 29th in quarterback sack percentage. And who is he going up against? Who are they going up against? TJ Watt. Falcons have a bye next week. Take it away for us, Andy. Steelers, Falcons.
Yeah, I haven't been able to get on the right side of the Steelers for a while. And I don't know. It seems like I always find outlier performances from the other team. Matt Ryan was, I'm not even sure if he was mentally present in the first half. He looked about as bad as we've seen him. He looked worse than what we saw early in the season when he was bad. I mean, the first 2 passes both should have been interceptions, and then one was, and he took a sack on the next drive. Like his first 2 drives were atrocious. Steelers defense did look good, but I mean, once a competent offense appeared in the second half, not a good offense, not a great offense, a competent offense, they got drove on. And it was also a little scary looking at their punt and kickoff return coverage constantly throughout the night. The Colts were in really good starting, starting opening field position after every kick and punt. I mean, the second half kick, they almost housed. That has me a little worried with the special teams. I mean, I want to bet the Steelers here. I think it's a beat up second. And I know Terrell's back. That helps, but it's just a defense that's been beat up. And if Pickett is going to be able to hit that short stuff like he normally does, and he's only airmailing like 3 or 4 balls a game instead of like 6 or 7, and he's going to get, Pickens is going to help him out with, I mean, he clearly just a push off that really, really nice catch. I mean, it was a really bad push. Refs were letting him play last night, which was interesting. So I like the Steelers. I like the under a little bit, but I'm staying away from this with there's just a litany of injuries on both sides that are up in the air. We've got 2 quarterbacks I don't trust, a special teams that I'm worried about all of a sudden. And really the Falcons defense can show up sometimes with Terrell in the field. So I'm staying away from the Steelers probably for the rest of the year. I hate having that, like, oh, they're on my crossed off list. It's not a thing for me usually. Like, this move has already happened. This is probably a good price at this point. Steelers as a short road favorite is probably where this market needs to be, and I'm going to pass.
Sky Dragon took the under, and I get it. Says he doesn't trust Atlanta to score touchdowns. It's interesting you talk about the special teams because we know what Cordell Patterson can do.
That's what worries me about this under is like, and Birdie, or who was it, Sky Dragon? Somebody pointed out Sky Dragon had the under. Yeah, if you see Atlanta run, and then those drives get stopped short or end in field goals because the Steelers defense catches a sack on a 3rd and long or force a 3rd and long with some tackles for losses. It's probably what you're going to see. But if the special teams is struggling again and you have maybe the best kick returner ever, taking a couple back, giving them some good field position, it kind of sketches me out here. So nothing for me in this one. There's plenty of other games.
Yeah, your trepidation, I can completely understand. Also, we see sharps all over Steelers right now, which would mean I don't want to go up against them. And then the total, you're right. If there was no special teams involved, because that being inside, Patterson indoor stadium, he can just find a hole and be gonzo. I get the under. I'm certainly not looking at an over.
I couldn't be talked into a Falcons bet. I couldn't be talked into an over bet.
Yeah,
it's Steelers. It's under. The under has me a little scared, and the Steelers the line move has already happened. I would have liked to get a plus money line on them. Didn't happen. So for those reasons, I'm out.